Hello everyone, I'm Brian. So I'm curious as to how well the second part of this did, considering. But this is my first time listening to her, so I have to try to understand how she speaks. Her definitions of words and stuff can be different. So I definitely want to watch more of her if she has more presentations so I can understand her better. I did have a lot of questions in the last one, and I wish I could talk to her and ask those questions. And kind of like with Sadhguru and Swami Sarvapriyananda, I've always had questions at the very beginning because I just don't know how to define things, and my understanding of it's different. Different actually. And then as I watch more and more, I begin to understand them a lot more clear. It's going to be the same thing with her. Let's go ahead and get started.
Many forms. This is all. Okay, I think our time is up.
Question time.
$15 for questions. Yes, let her take first, yeah?
This might sound stupid, but my question is, if I am the eternal and ever-producing happiness, and I know that, what am I searching for?
Then all search ends. If I know it and realize it, then all search ends. But I don't know it. That's why the search continues.
So if I think I heard her correctly. Said if I am the eternal bliss and whatever, when does the search end? I think that's what she said. I wish it picked up, or I wish the speaker would repeat the question just in case we didn't hear it. And I think that's what she said, and I think, and this goes back to I think what Swami Sarvapriyananda says, that if you have to ask the question if you're enlightened or you're in eternal bliss, you're not there yet. Let me turn off. I didn't think I would get a notification this late. My bad. I'm sorry. Well, I guess you guys know what my ringtone, well, my notification tone is now.
I say I know it, but I really don't know it. I know it intellectually, not as an experience.
Now, sorry to pause again. I said I experienced it once, but I'm not going to say that I know it, because just because I experienced something once, I'm not saying that is in fact it. It is a blankness, just pure darkness, and nothing is what I experience. People will say, maybe that will say that no, that is what you are supposed to experience. Even if someone says that it's what you're supposed to experience, I still say I don't know. I really don't. I could have just I could have just literally went brain dead there for a second and then woke back up. I could have died there and woke up and said, did I experience eternal bliss or did I just die? Because again, until I know for sure, I am never gonna say that that is in fact it or anything like that. So
Yes. Just pass on the mic.
I want to ask that I see the world through my eyes, but I cannot see my eyes itself. So can I apply the same concept of myself, that I cannot find myself, or I cannot experience myself, but then there is a world. So is it true in this case? My question was that I am seeing the world through my eyes, but my eyes cannot see themselves.
My eyes cannot see themselves. Very true. You have never seen your eyes ever. You have only seen a reflection of your eyes. You've never ever seen your eyes. None of us have seen our eyes. We've only seen a reflection of our eyes. We've never seen our eyes.
So can I apply the same concept in myself, that I can only realize myself through the reflection of myself from the world? And if it is true, then everything in the world is limited, and I am infinite. So how can the finite thing reflect the infinite thing? So how can I really realize myself?
Good question. Very good question. In fact, the sun and all the reflections that are there there are innumerable reflections. The reflections are always very small compared to the sun. There can be no comparison between a reflection and the sun, isn't it? But the reflection shows the existence of a sun. So that's the purpose of the world. The world proves the existence of an eye. Okay? The very existence of the world proves the existence of this I. That's the thing.
I as an I or I as an I? It's spelling I as in the I, but I think she means I as in the, like, I, which I think she points herself.
Now, how do I know the I when all these mind and all these layers go away? The sun doesn't need anything to know itself. You know, it's self-illuminating. It doesn't need something else to know it. But the reflections give us an idea, an anuman, an inference of the existence of the sun. But finally, the sun doesn't need anything to know itself.
Sorry. I wish I could ask her this. It's kind of curious because this is, again, a part of my belief. Again, you don't know what happiness is without knowing what sadness is. I do believe that. If someone can disprove me, then I'm willing to listen. Well, assuming the sun is conscious, if there's nothing else out there, would the sun know that it's alive? There's nothing to compare it to, I'd assume. I don't know. That's an interesting question. Assume, like, if you're the only person alive and you have experienced nothing, literally nothing, would you consider yourself alive? Would you consider yourself alive? Alive, or would you be aware of yourself? Because you have no reference for anything. Literally nothing. There's no light. It's maybe even pure darkness over there. Either has to be pure light or pure darkness, and there's just no in between. There's no transition between light and darkness. It's either all light or all darkness. And then would you be able to know that you're alive? I don't know if that's where she's getting at. It kind of seems like it with the sun, but I don't know, that's maybe too deep of a question, to considering that you also have to think that if you're the only thing alive ever, you've learned nothing. You have no process of learning, in a sense. I don't know, maybe you could. I'm not sure. Listen, I don't know. That's probably a dumb question for me.
Then you'll have to drop all the, layers of the mind and everything, and then be what you actually are. That's what is called self-realization, etc., etc. All these different names are given like that. Yes.
Everybody wants a eternal and infinite happiness. But should that be the goal of life? That be okay?
That should be nahi hai. अब क्या करें? Even if you don't want, now tomorrow you say, no, I'm not going to ask for eternal and infinite happiness. You will. It's not should be. It is. It's not. I hope you're understanding that. You can't help but want eternal and infinite happiness. There's no choice for you.
I thought she was going to say, like, you have no choice but to live in that. It's just that you haven't realized it yet. The fact that you're letting all the Maya, the illusion, the misunderstanding, cloud the fact that you are always in eternal bliss. I thought she was going to say that, but she made it seem like you have to go to eternal infinite happiness. Maybe that's the way whenever she says that, maybe that's the way she meant. I'm not sure. I'm trying to understand how she talks, but I'm guessing maybe because you are, in fact, what you said earlier, that you are in fact eternal and infinite happiness, you just don't realize it yet. Kind of like how Swami Vimalananda says that you are Brahman, you just don't realize it yet.
Yes.
Why are we here in the first place? In the universe, why are we here?
To find that.
Why are we here? Is that what he asked? And
You find out.
to find
You
eternal.
find that. Huh? You are here to get that eternal infinite happiness.
And that's the reason why you're here. I think that's what he asked. Like, why are we here?
Why are we here?
So that we can become happy and not ask questions like that. Yes. Yes.
Now, my sense is that happiness is a very volatile thing. It's like even if something sad has happened and I need to be sad for that for like say a day, I can be happy after say a few hours. But satisfaction or fulfillment is the ultimate thing, which cannot be very volatile or which you cannot get just by switching your mind. So, how do you see the difference between eternal happiness and the real fulfillment?
Yeah. See, sukha and dukkha as thoughts of the mind are very fleeting. They come and go. That's not what I'm talking about as eternal happiness. As thoughts of the mind which come and go, they are very fleeting. And they are so conditioned by so many things that you can't. For example, I eat a laddu. But even if I think that in the laddu there is happiness, and even little bit of happiness or whatever, supposing someone gives it to me in an insulting way, then I won't get that. So my getting that, even that little bit of happiness from that laddu is conditioned by so many things. Now that really cannot give me any true fulfillment, as you said. So that's definitely not the eternal infinite happiness that we are talking about. Yeah, you are talking about a more lasting happiness, but that more lasting again is relative. One is a very fleeting one.
One lasts a little bit longer.
Kuch khaya and aa gaya. That's a very, very fleeting one. Then you think, you've really helped someone, you've done something very nice, and you feel so good inside you. Makes you feel a little more satisfied and happy. That. So that's more long lasting. But it's still again relatively, again next day morning you come up, you find something which is not so good, and you get upset about things. Isn't it true? So therefore, we're not talking about any conditioned happiness. This eternal and infinite happiness is unconditional happiness. That's what we're talking about.
So my interpretation of what you just said is, I guess, kind of simplified, and let me know if I'm wrong. In a different kind of way of explaining it, everything external is going to be temporary, because everything external is temporary. Everything, how do I say, the Maya itself, the misunderstanding, the illusion is all temporary. Our body is temporary. Our mind's temporary. This battery is temporary. Everything that we see, touch, we can experience with our five senses is all temporary. The only thing that's ever eternal is the true self of you, Atman Brahman. That is, which is only you can find inside, not externally. So everything externally is temporary. No matter how much happiness it provides to you, it is temporary. Look inside, which is the eternal, infinite happiness. Infinite and eternal happiness. You can only find that inside. And it is something that is not temporary. It's eternal and infinite. It's only can be found internally, not externally.
Is that more of self-fulfillment?
Self-fulfillment would be like, ki chalo, I've done a good job of something. I've made everyone else happy. I've done all the duties of my life. So all these things give you a sort of true sense of achievement. Let's say I've done whatever I set out to do. So that gives you a relatively longer lasting happiness than just having a laddu. Yeah? But still.
If I help a needy person,
Very good.
when I think of it, it makes me happy.
Very true.
But if I have ever had a cheesecake, it would only make me happy for that moment or a few minutes more. So is that the real difference of
No, that's not still the difference. When I help someone, then every time I think of it, it will happy. But again, it's conditioned by every time I have to think of it. Then only. You understand? If that thought doesn't come, again I'm not going to be happy, right? So again, it's conditioned. This eternal and infinite happiness that we are talking of is unconditioned by any time, place, circumstance or thought.
It's not affected by anything external.
what can someone do in that state?
Real life example, all of you, every day are experiencing that eternal and infinite happiness when you go in your deep sleep state. Every one of you. There is no object, there is no laddu, there is no helping someone, there is no world, and yet you are happy. You don't want to come out of it.
But that only lasts for as long as you
Exactly, that's why. That's the only thing that's the problem is that we are not able to this. But when I know it as my own true nature, irrespective of the time, place, circumstance, I can be in that. That's what I'm saying. But the experience of it, the example I gave you.
Oh, that is a really good one. Again, the blankness, the just darkness, the nothingness. Again, I experienced that for like a tenth of a second or something. Again, I could have just blacked out, honestly. I don't know. I really don't know. And her explaining the deep sleep as the eternal happiness. That's it. That's the confusing thing, though, is that why do we call it eternal happiness? Because it's, or I'm sorry, eternal. Yeah, he said eternal happiness when you don't even feel happiness in it. I think that could be confusing to a lot of people who understands happiness as something being joyful. When I guess maybe there's just not a good word for it, probably, to like bliss. Again, bliss is like the extreme of joy and happiness, but it's I don't think it's bliss. I guess I don't know. Is there not a good word for it? Or maybe they use this words to get people into it because it'd be kind of weird to present something like oh, you don't feel happiness in there. It's like, why would I want that? But you don't feel sadness either. No, I'd rather feel happiness and not sadness. And it's maybe a better selling point, I suppose, to say that it's eternal happiness. But maybe, I don't know. I don't think that's the right word for it, though. But whatever works, I suppose. But I get what you're saying, and I think that is a really good way of explaining it. Just the deep sleep when you're not dreaming. You're not in the dreamer world nor in the waker world.
Yeah.
I think that there should be happiness as well in this world, because it's a general human tendency that what we get, we sometimes we don't value it if it's available.
See, worldly unhappiness is always in comparison with worldly happiness, okay? And happiness is in comparison with unhappiness. Unhappiness is in comparison. So in the world, yes, happiness, unhappiness, sukha, dukha are called dvandva. Dvandva means the pairs of opposites. One cannot be known without the existence of the other.
Okay. I'm glad she said that. That's really interesting. So the eternal happiness cannot be compared to anything else. But again, that's the thing that I was saying. It's like, maybe a few videos. I don't remember if I said it in the last video or not. But it's the fact that in order to know happiness, you have to know sadness. But if this is an eternal happiness, it's not actually happiness. It's just I don't know what to call that state. Just a blankness. But I think that's maybe a good way to describe it. I'm not sure.
It's a fact. But in the worldly sense. That's why I'm talking about a happiness which is unconditioned by time, place, circumstance or anything. No comparison with happy or unhappy.
How can we achieve that?
You already experience it in your deep sleep state. There's no comparison with happy, unhappy in that state, please. And it's got no degree. You cannot have, okay, one day my deep sleep state was bliss, second day not so. Nah. Every day that deep sleep state is as blissful, homogeneously so, no degrees at all. It's just one
Flatline.
big state of happiness. No time, no space, no objects, no world, no relations, no emotions, nothing, and I'm still happy.
How can we reach that kind of happiness? Because sometimes it can happen. The tools through which we are looking for achieving it might not be correct. The path may not be correct.
Very true. That's why yesterday I was talking, your ultimate goal that you have, your intermediate goals must be aligned to that so that you don't go the other way. So if your ultimate goal, you know what your ultimate goal is, then all other goals should be aligned in such a way that you would reach the ultimate goal. You know that to reach the ultimate goal, you will need a mind of a particular quality. Now what do? Many times we destroy this mind. We do really harm. We drink, we drug, we do everything, spoil this mind, and then we think we're going to reach there. Not a remote chance. Because this is that instrument that's going to go take us there. And you destroy that. You've just destroyed your chance of ever getting that eternal and infinite happiness.
Whoa. I've not heard any other Guru or Swami say you destroyed your chance to get there. I think all of them say that you can, well, I think all of them will say that there's a, is that a possibility? I think most of them will say, I don't want to say all, that you can get there. Now, whether you get there in this life or the next is the question. I've never heard anyone say that you destroy your chance, though. And what qualifications is that to destroy your chance? I've heard them say that you can get there, but it may not be this life. And then saying drugs and alcohol would destroy your chance. That's weird. Sadhguru, I think, says you can use drugs and alcohol to get to this blissful state, but he didn't say anything negative about it necessarily. It's just that you don't want to do that to get to the blissful state. You want to do that naturally. That's what he says. If I remember correctly.
That's why you need guidance many times. We need gurus, we need scriptures, we need all of that. This all thinking would not be there if I had not been talking to you right now, isn't it true? For every field of this you need your teachers, but unfortunately for spirituality we think we are the best teachers. And we pick up books, this, that and the other, get ourselves so confused, and then what do you mean by different kinds of faith?
We can have different kind of faith in every religion. How can we define that this faith is correct or incorrect?
I don't understand different kinds of faith. Are you trying to say different religions or different?
Like religions.
So then call different religions.
Technical.
You're talking about different religions, yeah?
How can we know that this faith is correct?
You're defining faith as I have understood and talked about faith, or you're talking about religions?
All religions have faith. Not all religions are the same. All faith is roughly the same, I think, but all religions are not the same. So I think that's what she's trying to get at, and maybe this guy's getting faith and religions, they're similar in his book. Again, this is the reason why I question things and I want to understand how she talks, because to her, faith and religions are separate, which I agree. To the guy that I'm hearing, well, I don't really hear him, but what she's saying seems like he's saying that faith and religion are in fact the same.
Are different religions? So how do you know which religion is the right religion? Is that what you're saying? No. Let's not mix up the two words as faith and religion. If you think faith and religion are the same, then I will understand the question better, I'll be able to answer better.
Yeah.
What exactly are you asking? Are you asking about different faiths? And then what is faiths? Different what? I don't understand the word different faiths. Means what?
We have the different kind of faiths and
Like what?
how can we know that this
No.
faith is correct?
You'll have to explain the word different faiths.
And what is that faith? Ask him what's one faith and what's another faith.
Every religion has some faiths. Like
I'll ask him, do you say, is Christianity a faith? Okay. Is Catholic a faith? Is Islam a faith? Is Buddhism a faith, according to his definition?
You're talking of different religions, sir. If you're talking different religions, let's talk of different religions.
most religion says that
So you're talking about religions.
there is no God.
Okay, you are talking about different.
That there is God.
Right, you're talking about different religions. So you are asking there are different religions. Which religion is right? Isn't it true? Yeah? Yeah.
All of
So
them.
now, I think it is better if you make an inquiry yourself. Because if I say something, you're going to say she is fanatic because she thinks hers is the best. So I think it's better if you go and make a proper inquiry and find out which you think is the right one.
Very good answer. Of course, you don't want to tell people how to think. You say, hey, look, it's up to you to find out what's the right what is the right religion, especially for yourself. Everyone believes a little bit differently. But I know Lakhani will say all of them are right. All of them point to the same one true God. Or in fact, in Hinduism, if I understood correctly, all the many 330 plus million gods, it's all just an intermediary, a medium to get to the one true God, which is yourself. So it's like there are many different paths to follow, to lead to one God, whether that's believing in a God, a higher power, multiple gods, one God, three gods, four gods, or yourself. leads all to the same path according to Lakhani, and I think Hinduism.
You have this type of experience, that's why I asked.
No, no, I am going to say that I, through a lot of inquiry, have come to this, that this, what I believe in is right. But at the same time, I never dismiss other people's thoughts and their beliefs, because each one is
A path.
going through different stages of life. And they have a right. I'll give you an example. A small little child, if it asks, how does it rain? So you give him a story, that there is this Airavata, this big white elephant in the heavens of Indra, and he puts his trunk in the ocean, and he picks up all the water, and he showers, and that's how you get. And this little 2-year-old is fascinated and says, wow, that's so great. Now, why did you tell him that? Because that's what you can't tell him evaporation and condensation, and that is the way you must understand, and that is the only way, and that is. You can't do that to that poor child.
What?
But when he grows up, he understands that what my mom was saying was not a lie. ऐरावत था वो भले, बट वो ही है कि समुद्र से पानी गया ऊपर और फिर क्या हुआ? But you gave it in the language of what? Airavata and everything. You understand? So therefore, I am not going to dispute anyone's belief in whatever they believe in. At the same time, I know what I know. Everyone has a right to their own beliefs. Yeah, now we have a session tomorrow also, all of you. What is the time of the session? 4 p.m. over here. Again, is it over here? Is it over here, Arago? Yeah. 4 p.m. over here, I will be talking and we will ask lots of questions. Last question. Okay? Okay?
Is that because I want to know, there is a slope in Gita, I think nahi gyani chatursha bhojnamani vidhi tatsvayam yosita dhammatmani vidhi. Its meaning that is very simple, means इस संसार में ज्ञान के समान पवित्र करने वाला कुछ भी नहीं. तो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि वो जो हम पढ़ते हैं that is basically information. तो जिसको श्रीमद् भगवद गीता में ज्ञान कहा गया है, व्हाट इज दैट?
यही जो मैंने ज्ञान किया है, अपने स्वरूप का ज्ञान.
इससे मेरा दूसरा क्वेश्चन जनरेट होता है कि एक लाइफ साइकिल है, जैसे हमारे वहाँ पास्ट में 4 आश्रम में हम लोगों ने उम्र को बांधा है, तो उसमें संन्यास आश्रम हमने लास्ट में रखा है. तो जब हम उस परंपरा को फॉलो करते हैं तो बेसिकली हम, जैसे अगर मान लीजिए हम आज अपनी उस इंटरनल और हैप्पीनेस को फाइंड करने के लिए बैठ जाए, तो जो जीवन का चक्र है वो कहीं ना कहीं डिस्टर्ब होता है. मान लीजिए कि जैसे हम कहते हैं कि संन्यास में आप जाते हैं तो वो यात्रा सही होती है, क्योंकि तब तक आप उस जीवन में जो कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट है, क्योंकि इस लाइफ को भी मीनिंगफुल ऊपर वाले ने अगर जीवन दिया है तो कुछ ना कुछ सोचने के लिए दिया है. तो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि हम उस इंटरनल हैप्पीनेस को फाइंड करते हैं, ठीक है, बट हमारे साथ में जैसे हम इंजीनियर्स हैं, डॉक्टर्स हैं, तो हमारे सोसाइटी के लिए भी हमारे काम है जो कि हमें करना चाहिए.
बिल्कुल करना चाहिए, प्लीज़ करो. You should do it. I don't encourage anyone to become sannyasis. And अगर जो सन्यासी बनना चाहता है ना तो पूछता ही नहीं है, और जो पूछता है ना करता नहीं है. So that's why we don't tell anyone कि भाई आप सन्यासी बनो या ना बनो. क्योंकि जो जिसको बनना है ना वो तो जाएगा ही जाएगा, किसी को पूछेगा नहीं, जगत की किसी का नहीं सुनेगा। जगत के हज़ारों फोर्स भी आ जाएंगे और कहेंगे कि इसमें ये हैं, नचिकेत को क्या न क्या दिया भगवान ने, बोले तुमको राजा बना दूंगा, मैं ये करूँगा। वो बोले आप तवैव वाहस तव नृत्य गीते, आप अपने जो वाहन गीत आपके पास रखो, मुझे जाना है। तो एंड देखिए 4 आश्रम बताए हैं हमारे शास्त्र में। ये भी कहा है कि ब्रह्मचर्य आश्रम के बाद में गृहस्थाश्रम करना चाहिए, गृहस्थाश्रम के बाद में वानप्रस्थ और वानप्रस्थ के बाद में संन्यास। बट विधि है यद अहरेव विरजेत तद अहरेव विरजेत। अगर ब्रह्मचर्य आश्रम से सीधे संन्यास जाना है तो देयर इज़ शास्त्र में ही कहा है, ऐसा नहीं कि सब ऐसे ही करके जाना है, बट वापस नहीं आ सकते हैं, दैट इज़ द ओनली थिंग। फिर गृहस्थाश्रम से वानप्रस्थ, पर वानप्रस्थ से वापस गृहस्थ नहीं बन सकते हैं। आजकल वो करते हैं 80 साल में शादी करते हैं वापस, और फिर संन्यास से वापस नहीं आ सकते। यू कैन गो, यू कैन स्किप वन और द अदर, बट यू कांट go back. That's not allowed in the scriptures, but you can skip, that's allowed. According to scriptures only it's allowed.
Well, I don't know what they said. I was trying to follow her with her hand, but sounds like talking about different steps that you could take, how there's steps, and then there's maybe a certain thing that you can skip ahead. Well, that was kind of obvious after she explained the fact that you can jump ahead, but you can't go back. I don't know what she said, if you don't mind translating that for me.
Okay, I think we have our main purpose, as I had promised, that I was going to ask you, because a lot of them were asking who am I and all those questions, so I said I must deal with that. So tomorrow, if there's any particular one thing that you want me to talk about, I am open. I don't have a fixed this is only what I'm going to talk, or so if there's any particular thing that, can I have any wish list on your part that you want me to talk about? You want to talk about the mind? Shall we talk tomorrow exclusive about the mind? Is it okay, everyone? Yeah? I need to know, because I'm open to any suggestions. I have no fixed meditation is difficult because I'll have to explain the principles of meditation. I don't want to explain meditation in the random way that people are doing, and it's like meditation is not a झटका and a फटका, कि ऐसे कर दिया, ये लग गया, ऐसे हो गया, फड़ाम डुम हो गया, ऐसे कुछ नहीं होता है। करेंगे तो भी कुछ नहीं होगा, Everyone wants it to happen like that, कि बैठ गए and कुछ flash हो गया and something happened and all. नहीं होता ऐसे।
Google Translate. Said, oh God, no, it said, oh good snake, oh God.
So I would rather not give false hopes or false ideas or something which is I don't believe in. So I do have, okay, I can tell you, I have 3 courses which I do on a regular basis. In fact, one is called the Dharma Seva course, which I do every year, July, August. The course that I did was a 2-year course in the ashram in Bombay, but the same 2-year course we have compressed it for the sake of everyone who cannot take 2 years off into a 6 weeks course. It happens in July, August. For those of you who are available for a course like that, and it gives a very systematic understanding of the entire way of life in Sanatana Dharma. What I did exactly in 2 years is what we are giving in this 6 weeks. It's called the Dharma Seva course. Mid-July to end of August is the normal time I have it. The second course that I am doing is for people who have already studied Vedanta and want a little more knowledge of Vedanta, a little deeper understanding of Vedanta. Then I have a course called Vedanta Darshan, which will happen next year, mid-Feb to mid-March. And I'm going to take a text called Ashtavakra Gita, which is considered quite a very nice text in Vedanta. And every year, because meditation is the in thing, and everyone wants meditation, and it's a very powerful, this. So I take a meditation demystified camp, which is a 6 days, and that would be quite convenient to people, the students of IIT, because you all have a holiday in December, I am told, and this is from the 9th to the 14th of December this year. So if anyone wants to know about that as well, so you all can, I think some information is available at the bookstore for all the 3 courses. If anyone is interested, or anyone knows of anyone who is interested and would like to pass this knowledge, because I have seen that these courses work very well, because then you are doing it systematically, you're going through it, and you're going through a lifestyle of conducive to that as well. Otherwise what happens is, yahan you listen to all this, you go into something which is completely, you don't even have time to really reflect on what I have spoken. Isn't it true? Now you'll go back right there and you'll go into something different world altogether, and what I spoke is going to go right out of your minds, So then these things need to get absorbed, need to be reflected upon, need to get, slowly into your psyche, and you start really, making it your knowledge. As long as that knowledge remains someone else's, you can't live it. This is what I believe in. None of us can live someone else's knowledge. We can only live our knowledge. So unless it becomes my knowledge, I can't live it. Yeah, so anything I spoke today, like I am infinite and all that, is not going to have, it will have an effect that intellectually, yeah, you can appreciate it or something like that. But unless I internalize it, I make it my knowledge and my conviction, I won't be able to live my life according to that. Yeah, so that's extremely important. So this gives a chance for doing that. So if anyone wants to take a sabbatical, or you finished one course, I always tell people, especially the Dharma Sevak course, for people who have finished their studies and not got into a job yet, take a break at that time. Don't go into straight, because everyone's so much interested, job lena hai, ye karna hai. You never take that break in life. Or you finished your one job, you still not got into another job, take that break. It's important to understand, review your life, look into things, pause a bit, explore a bit, understand yourself a bit, where you've gone, where you want to go, things like that. Otherwise it's like, they're all held in Coimbatore. I personally take these courses. All these courses are taken by me personally. So you could come. There are many other courses of the Chinmay Mission as well. We have online fantastic courses. One very much recommended course is the Bhagavad Gita online course. It's really very nice. You can go on the Chinmay Mission website, then you have what is called the Chinmay International Foundation, which is a research wing of the Chinmay Mission, and they are doing amazing work, just unbelievable research work, fundamental research work in Vedanta. And they have online basic Vedanta course, advanced Vedanta course, and another very, very good course is the Bhagavad Gita online course. It's really a very good course. You'll get it online, you can read it, you can understand it, you can answer it, you can just go on the mission website, Chinmay Mission website, and I think you'll find a lot of things of interest to you. Thank you all very much, and we'll end our session today. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Right in the city of Kanpur, we do have a Chinmay Mission Center, and we have an Acharya posted over there, and that is our Brahmachari Jaidev Chaitanya. He's done a 2 years course in our ashram in the north of India, in Himachal Pradesh, and he's done the course in Hindi, and he takes very wonderful classes in the city of Kanpur. And if you have the need and the demand, the supply is here. So you can ask him to come, but he takes it, I think, predominantly in Hindi. आप हिंदी में ही लेते हैं कि अंग्रेजी में भी लेते हैं? हिंदी में ही लेते हैं. But he takes it in Hindi, but his Hindi is very good, I'm sure. So you can, all of you can, those of you who understand, and if you really want him to come, and you can have, and go there or call him or whatever. He stays in town and I stay in Coimbatore. So he's more available, so he's available for that. Okay, G. Yes.
Thank you so much all for coming.
Okay, let's go back to okay. She said a lot, and the one thing I'm just noticing, I do wonder. I'm guessing she just says Vedanta as opposed to Advaita Vedanta. I don't know if it's different. I'm just curious if anyone knows. I'm pretty sure it's Advaita Vedanta, but I know there's different kinds of Vedantas out there. So just the only other question I can think of is I think Swami Sarvapriyananda says Advaita Vedanta. I can't quite remember if he just says Vedanta or not. I can't remember the other guy, the English guy, what he said. He says Advaita Vedanta as well. I don't think he just says Vedanta. I'm not sure. I'll have to pay attention to that now. Alright, anyways, that's the end of this. Again, questions I have, if you don't mind letting me know. If I'm right or wrong, please let me know. I'm open to opinions, absolutely, because this is my first time hearing her, and plus she also says I've taken the course, or I'm taking the course, as though she's not the teacher of the course, but she's participating in the course itself, kind of like how she was talking about faith and religion, how the person understands those two as the same. Taking the course is not teaching the course. I'm hosting the course, like she's hosting it, or I'm teaching the course. Whenever she says, "Oh, I'm taking the course," I was like, "Wait, you're not teaching it, but you're participating in it." But I think she meant teaching. Anyways, that's my reaction to Swamini. I'll say it how I know it to be. Swami Vimalananda at IIT Kanpur on September 27th. I've said that backwards too. Who am I? Who is God? And what is the mind? I gotta watch her other stuff because I do have people that suggested it. One in particular person that suggested a lot of stuff, and I think I have one of them. I gotta look up the other ones. I should have reacted to the one before this one, but what can I do? Anyways, if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next vid.